trying to figure out what that song sound like. It sounds like a mix between "I Could Fall in Love" by Selena and then something else.
It
But hey,
does.
yes, because I was thinking, I was like, "I could fall in love." No, I'm like, hey, y'all, welcome to my channel, Watch Over Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. And it's not gonna happen this video, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
What's good, Thug Life? Happiest of Manic Mondays. Welcome in, like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate all of y'all. All of y'all.
Absolutely. And while you're subscribing to me, please subscribe to Mrs. Best. Any reviews or recaps that I don't cover on my channel, such as Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and Miami and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we cover on Mrs. Best channel. So if you want to see our opinions and also feel free to comment there, you're welcome to subscribe to her channel because we're both trying to build our channels up and make sure we get the love and subscribers. So, and also subscribe to Shana's channel as well. She started a secondary channel, Shana underscore MCD TV. We're trying to help her get that channel monetized. I know she's close to it, at least I hope so. So overall, we want to make sure that we subscribe to her channel and show her some love there. Shani, I always see you. We know you first. We got you, girl. We got you. We love when you always are here. Thank you so much. Coach Chanel, thank you for subscribing to me. I saw you on my channel. You made another comment, and I'm glad you're here. Welcome, and glad that you are feeling the chemistry here. Me and Mrs. Best, we've been friends for almost 20 years. It's literally since high school, and we've always been this close. So directly, we have
He
great.
knew me before I had titties, y'all. He knew me before I had titties.
We do not need to see.
It's true. Hell.
God. Hi, Miss David. Thank you for being here, my love. I appreciate you. Oh, yeah, we love Selena on this channel. When I tell you I watch that movie at least once a month, like, I'm not kidding. At least once a month. And I always know when I have not watched it because I'll randomly go and find it and put it on. I love it. And I love the series on Netflix too. That was my shit.
There's a series on Netflix for her? I did not know that.
She had like a 2-season series on Netflix where it told like the shit they didn't show in the movie. Like, so like the
Oh.
underlying, like, you know how AB was married first and had kids
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, and then they show Susie's wedding. So yeah, they had a whole series. It was very good, and they showed
Oh,
more about
nice.
Yolanda and everything. So yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, girl. It's the truth.
y'all, I can't with y'all. This is Married to Medicine, y'all. This is Married to Medicine. So the show opens up with Toya cooking some breakfast and talking to Eugene. Um, about, has they talked to Greg like since the fight happened, and Eugene said nah, but him and Scott plan on meeting up at Scott and Contessa's house to talk to him. And she said, yeah, because I would like to get to a place where it's our 16-year anniversary and I want to throw a theme party, and she's thinking of Bridgerton and doing a party like that. And she said that she would love to have everyone there, including Quad and King, because she likes where her and Quad are, and also she likes King as well. And she also wants to invite Letitia and Greg, and she likes where they are too. So she thinks that they can both be in the same space, just be on opposite sides of the room and be cool. And I'm just like, okay, Toya, I see you. At the same time, they're having this conversation. Quad goes to see Dr. Heavenly, and she tells Heavenly that she doesn't want to put King in any compromising positions like that again. So she's going to kind of have him take a little step back so she can protect him. But she wants to have the girls over at her house so, they can do kind of like a girlfriend check-in to make sure everybody is okay. She's not going to extend an invitation to Phaedra, and she's not going to invite Letitia. So she's going to keep them two off the guest list, and she's going to invite everybody else. What y'all saying in these comments? I know I'm seeing all these comments. Damn.
Not damn.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell the story. I got distracted. Toya looked so good. All the ladies looked so fab this episode. They did. Everybody did look good. I didn't like Contessa's wig in this episode, but everybody did look good.
And Tessa's wigs never look right. I've just accepted it.
So it looked good with her. Oh, she
She
got
did look
lipo.
really
I love
good.
her
Is
that
that what
dress.
it is?
Yeah, that she got lipos out because that dress was beautiful on her. She was looking absolutely like yes. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Toya needs to go to Housewives, cooking him breakfast and stuff. And she look good. Go on over to Atlanta
You know
Housewives,
what's
Toya.
funny is I said this. I think this as well, but I think he has to do it for TV purposes. That's Shani, I'm with you. I think that's smart. Mm-hmm. Contessa did her best. She graded on Coach. Damn. Contessa looked like a look kind of cheap. I don't know. What the hell. She's such a beautiful woman. She need to get that hair together. I don't know what the hell she need to do, but it's either too much.
She wears
Or
clothes, I think, that don't fit her body. She wears the clothes that the girls who have their bodies done or who are thicker need to wear. And then I think, in addition to that, she needs to maybe avoid the wigs and get into some like natural hair or some braids.
natural
I feel like
hairstyles,
that
like
would help Contessa.
maybe some dreadlocks. So you know how Megan Good wear those extension dreadlocks? Maybe she should do that.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would look cute on Contessa. Contessa just don't know what to wear for her body, but she's beautiful.
She's beautiful, and from what I thought I think she lost too much weight too. That's another thing. I feel like she lost way too much weight because Contessa used to be really thick. I remember watching a scene with her and Anila getting into it, and she had on all black, and she had them thick thighs and all that ass. I was like, damn, Contessa looked good. I said, ooh wee. Mm-mm-mm. I said, damn, Contessa. Okay, I see you. Yeah, so they're talking. Let me get back to the episode. I'm thinking about Contessa. I'm like, let me get back to where I'm talking about. So yeah, they're talking, and as the scene progresses on, we then follow them to this dance recital class that they're all having. All the couples show up, including Anila and Kieran, which I'm glad they didn't speak. I'm glad they were just there to occupy the air because I did not want to hear Anila's voice. And I like Kieran for the most part, but I'm glad they were extra. So Quad didn't show up with King, and of course Letitia and Greg didn't show up. And before they begin the dance, basically Contessa lets out the bag that Dr. G did file battery charges against King, and everyone's confused because they were like, no one touched each other, right? So how did he get the charges on them? And so from there, I'm like, yeah, how did he get charges? And so they were all like, he found a way to get charges on him. So I'm like, oh, okay, Mrs. Best. How does that work?
Why you ask me? Listen,
Because I'm trying to figure out how does that work? Like, how can you file charge? Even though he explains it, we're trying to get the shock value out the way.
let
How
me
does that
explain
work?
something. Dr. G is confusing attempted unaliving so that I don't impact your channel with something else. Because you're either assaulted or you're not. People argue all the time, close up in each other's faces. For instance, a good show, because I'm a huge diehard fan of The Challenge on MTV. They have a rule on that show from the very beginning. People can get in each other's faces, pour stuff on each other, but they cannot physically assault each other. So, because assault is assault, but if you're not assaulting someone, then you're likely not touching them. Yelling at somebody is not an assault. Now, Dr. G, in his mind, may feel like because he was charged at and all of these things that he was assaulted, but he wasn't. He could take that footage and request for like a restraining order and say that he doesn't feel safe, but he was not assaulted. So to file a police report if he's going for a restraining order, that makes sense, right? But to if you're going and filing a police report with the hopes that this man will be arrested when he did not touch you, then I'm looking at you like, why? But thirdly, you a bitch. You ran from that man the whole time backwards, faster than I've seen anybody run backwards. I don't understand why you don't just fight back. Your natural instinct is to run. Most people, if they feel attacked, there's fight or flight. We know that Dr. G will run. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Contessa was never really thick. She always been slim on the slimmer side. It's just that her body now is more lean since she has less body fat.
That bodybuilding.
Go back to that scene, season 7. Her and Anila were at the park, and look at her body then, and then tell me if I'm not saying she was really thick like black woman thick, but she had curve appeal. That's what I'll say. It was curb appeal. But yes, no, it was definitely a lot more than what it is today. I'm just saying. That dance class was cute. It was, for the most part. It was. It was cute. No, he's not confused. He was smirking the whole time, explaining himself was so odd. Yeah. You can definitely file charges on someone with intent. You can, but the likely chances of it getting to a district attorney first, it's
They'll
very slim.
throw it out as
They'll throw
soon
it
as
out
it
because
gets
if
to
there
the
was
DA.
nothing, and sometimes police officers would just take the report and not file the
Mhm.
charges because they need physical. Because it's hard to really take that to a court and really have that fought out if nothing happened, even if there was intent. Because even if you look at the video, it doesn't seem like there was much intent because there was somebody intervening and they just got heated. I know this to be true because I've been in the situation with that. So that's how I know. Yeah, it was attempted assault. But see, I don't know about Georgia, but I know here in Arizona, they
They
would
didn't even pick up those. They didn't even pick up the charges. They spoke about that on the live, and no one can find any record of it at all. So Florida was just like, eh. They didn't care. They didn't even pick up the
Mhm.
charges.
Yeah, they probably did. Yeah, I agree. Someone tell Tom and Jerry they tripping. Sweet Tea is Tom and Dr. G is that damn man. Damn Naya. Hi, JJ. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. He didn't run, twin. He moonwalked the.
It
Yeah,
was
hey,
attempted assault, but the police dropped it because it's like there's not much that's gonna happen if you weren't actually assaulted.
yeah.
It,
It
it's
was
it's
attempted assault. In my state of Florida, you can definitely do it with intent. We have to stand. We have to stand your ground. Stay. I used to live there. I know. That's why I had to think
See,
about it.
that's
That's
where
why
this
I had.
issue
Yeah.
happened.
That's I had to think about that. That's why I said, okay, wait, Florida is a little bit different, yeah. Because
But
Arizona,
that's exactly the state where this incident happened, and the
yeah,
police ain't pick up nothing.
exactly. That's a DA to pick. Yeah, they ain't pick. They're not picking that up. They're not.
They're not picking it
Not
up.
picking that up. There's way more to worry about in Florida than this. I'm sure. I used to live in South Florida. There is way more that we could be picking up. Trust me. But yeah. So after they talked about that, they did the little dance. Everything was cute. We then go to Scott and Contessa's house. Dr. G pulls up in his Audi RA. He said, y'all not fin to come over here and talk about my Mini Cooper no more. I done picked up a $200,000 car now. So y'all ain't finna sit up here and talk about me. When all I can still see is him running from quad and driving.
Driving away mad in that small ass Mini Cooper with a polo pink shirt on and
Right.
some powder blue shorts, striped, mad as hell.
But yeah, Eugene, Scott, and Dr. G were at their at Scott's house. He takes them to the man lounge they have in their house, and Eugene picks up. He goes, "So you really filed charges on King?" And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "How? When he didn't even touch you?" And he goes, "You know, there's something called, which we all talked about, attempted assault, and that's what happened. And I felt vindicated in that." And they were like, okay. And then he goes, I've been in my head lately. And so I wrote me a little song. So he plays the song. And y'all, I'm not going to go through this because I can't get through a line of that song without laughing. But if y'all watch the episode, y'all heard the song. And I'm just like, okay, I was Eugene in that moment. I would have felt on the damn floor laughing. Because what was that? Dr. G, what was that? I mean, to each his own. Sometimes we need an outlet, y'all. We need an outlet to, kind of render our spirits and be like, hey, it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. So he felt the need to write him a little song. And then he howled at the end of it. I said, okay. And then Letitia said, good job, baby. You did a good job. And I said, see, that's the problem right there. I know we're supposed to encourage our men when it comes to them wanting to do what they feel like they need to do in order for it to be done. But in this case, sometimes silence is the best option. Mrs. Best, how do you feel about that?
I was not prepared, and I watched this in the office in my cubicle. and I hollered so loud that I drew attention and had to watch the video with four other colleagues. The way that we cackled at this song, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what to say about this song. I have no words. And I'm trying to get into heaven and I'm running out of tickets. And if I comment on the song, I may not get in. But I will say this, that is an insult to actual artists. You could tell he tried to therapize himself just for the show. This was such bullshit. Let me express myself. The way he stood when he sang the song, Sweet Tea saying, "Good job, baby," as if he's the baby. All I got from this scene was that it definitely confirms she's with him for some other reasons. And he is an absolute menace to himself and others. I don't ever wish to see this again, and I hope they don't play the song at the reunion. I want Dr. G and Dr. Scott to both retire from music. Neither have any talent, and I that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna behave now, James.
I'm still laughing because it was not only him singing, but it was the way he was holding that microphone and just yelling in that mic. And he already has this high pitched voice. So I'm just like, you couldn't just play on your guitar and just like have like just a smooth
He
jazz kind of
sang
sound.
and moved like his balls just never dropped. And as
Okay,
boys are, it's the
I'm not
truth.
doing this with you. I'm not doing this with
It's
you.
the truth.
I'm
It's
not
the
doing
truth. I was like, he was stiff. I'm telling you, that's why Sweet Tea's so angry. That's why she's so angry.
She
Look what
was
she
angry
got
that
to.
confession. Her face said.
Nobody can take this couple serious. And you know, the funny thing about it is when he gets roasted for this song, it's somehow going to be Quad's fault.
Yep.
It's somehow going to
Yep.
be Quad's fault.
Yep.
The fans hate me because of you, Quad. Because of you. I'm telling you, that's what he's going to be saying at this reunion. It's going to be,
Absolutely.
I can't. I can't with the song, James.
When CT said good job right at the end of the song, I was absolutely done and no more good. Yeah. I feel like we should definitely be encouraging all the way, but you didn't have to say that on the recorder. You could have pressed stop record and then tell them good job in private. That's all. We did not need to. We
He
don't
is
need all this.
performing a song about wanting to let go of the feelings for his ex with his current female, though. So of course, Sweet Tea gonna be like, "Yeah, good job. Whatever gets this nigga from stopping to sing this song, whatever stops it. Cause how you got me filming you in the house you shared with your old work, singing a song, talk about you need to let go and want your old work to let go of you. Absolutely not. I would have been at the courthouse like, take me back to where you got me from. We ending this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I want T to blink to tell us she's okay 3 times in a row. Not sexual chocolate. Just cannot. Oh
He did a
God.
horrible job of the song, but he did a good job getting out his feelings. I
She's
beg.
so positive.
You really are a bitch. They went about. I beg to differ. I'm sorry. No, that was kind of like, yeah. Them feelings are still there. He's saying like he was.
He was light skinned and crying.
No, oh, I'm sorry. No, 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 no. You are expelled.
Oh God.
Dr. Greg is trying to get his life. He's starting to blue. I guess. I guess. If my man wrote before and asked me to record a song about his X5, I would be the new king. It would literally be me, black out
Right.
for real.
Thank
But I tell
you.
you, yeah, we would have been. That video would have been me cussing while he's singing that song.
I wouldn't have recorded it. Sweet
It's
Tea's
going to be
crazy.
Sweet Tea fault, not Quad easier target. It's gonna be both of them faults. She gonna have some fault. He gonna have Quad gonna have some fault. That's how it's
But
going.
in their household, we know that all of their struggles are because of Quad. They probably think her leftover items was like haunting the house. They blame her for everything.
Quad didn't have no leftover items. She said to Dr. Heaven that wasn't her shit. That was somebody else's shit. Sweet Tea sounded
Oh,
like a teacher in the special. I'm sorry. I'm not. I
She
can't.
just
AJ, I can't. No, 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 no. We
it's
not doing
true.
that. We can't do that. No, we
Oh
can't do
god.
that. Okay, let's move on, y'all. So Sweet Tea meets up with Toya, and she brings Mimi with her. And when they sit down, Sweet Tea was telling her pretty much what she told everybody. She wants her to get to a place to where everybody can be accountable and we can all be in the same space and occupy the same air. Does she ever think that her and Greg can be in the same facility as Quad and King? Sweet Tea said, listen, that's up to my husband. I can't, go against what he says and everything. And she goes, okay, but what about our friendship and everything? Do you think you could re-enter this group of girls again? Sweetie said, that's up to my husband. I can't, I can't confirm that I will be there, Toya, but that's up to Dr. Gregory if he wants me to be there tonight. Everything pretty much Sweetie was saying says it's up to my husband whether or not I can breathe. It's up to my husband whether or not I can eat. It's up to my husband whether or not I can sleep. It's up to my husband whether I can drive my car. It's up to my husband whether or not I can meet you. It's up to my husband whether or not, pretty much it's up to Dr. Gregory, whatever she can do. I don't begrudge her for that because I get it. I get it. I'm not saying, you do need to consider your partner when it comes to certain circumstances that have them in the position of, being harmed or whatever King intention was that day. I totally get it. But to me, it pretty much put Toya in a position to say, if I have to make a choice, to choose you or Quad, I'm going to choose Quad without saying that. But it was Mimi's faces for me. She was like, "Ooh, I wasn't expecting Sweet Tea to say all of that, but okay." So, I like I said, I understood Sweet Tea to some extent, but at the same time, it's like you need to have your own life outside of Gregory. And I think that that's the problem here. I feel like, okay, he may not can come around, but you could still come around and aid and abet the females of the show and be their friend still. I don't think that that puts you in that much of a compromising position. Um, no, she does not have to say that about everything, but this was his group of friends. She should have consulted him first. Quad says she's going to have to consult with her man, and he's not even her husband. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, this is a job. I could see if this was like a group of friends and we don't have money on the table, because you're not going to mess up a check for me because your ex is on the show. I was, marketing myself to be on the show by coming at you in the first place. He know what it is. So I feel like she'll be back next season. I don't think this is the last we'll see of Sweet Tea. I don't. The sit down with Sweet Tea was disheartening. Like, she was there, but all I could hear was Dr. G speaking through her. She was willing to leave her job for a man. It's such antiquated thinking. I don't think she'll leave. I don't. I don't think he'll encourage her to leave. I think that they like this check and that they know that throughout time she can get more if she stays. Quad's putting on for the camera just a bit. The reality of King couldn't come up around because of the charges, great press. Yes and no, because he has stuff to lose too. I think that in terms, if he was just some regular guy who worked at Coca-Cola, yes, absolutely. She's putting on for the cameras. But because he has a business as well, I think that how she's reacting and what she's doing is fair to some extent. But none of them like that girl. They just brought her on the show because they were at odds with Quad, so they pretty much was pushing them off. Yeah, I agree with you there. And I think that that's what we really can speak on versus the altercation between King and Greg. I don't think it's solely based on her tendency, is solely based on that. I think it was she knows that she was used as the pawn. And I think that that's what she wants to get out of versus it being solely about the husband. I think the husbands are a scapegoat. I do. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the conversation with Toya, Dr. Mimi, and Letitia?
Here's the thing. Letitia took no. I understand you're gonna stick beside your husband, but especially being that most of these women have maintained a close relationship with his ex-wife for some time. I do also agree with the fact that they're probably trying to actively take whatever they can to get rid of Sweet Tea and Dr. G. I think that Dr. G in general, separate from his current wife, brings a certain level of drama that's just exhausting to deal with for a lot of these people and us as the audience. But then at the same time, I feel like Sweet Tea and Dr. DJ, they just don't want them there no more. Like a bitch, they went and said they were at odds with Quad. Quad didn't leave the show. Now they've made some sort of peace. And so I don't think they see the need for her no more. I do wish Sweet Tea would have spoke more for herself instead of just speaking, which felt like a lens for Dr. G. But based on like what's going on with social media right now, the videos, Sweet Tea is basically Dr. Heavenly with the amount of lives and videos that she's doing talking about these ladies. But she's not talking about drama. She'll go a step further and just speak about their character. And not all of them have done anything to her. So I don't think that she'll leave the show, but I don't think that it'll be an easy path for these people to move forward with Sweet Tea and Dr. G. I think Sweet Tea and Dr. G or Quad and King are going to have to leave at some point. I don't see these people making peace. And I get the feeling it may be Quad and King to leave because they don't need the check as bad as Dr. G and Sweet Tea. But the whole conversation to me wasn't even much of a conversation. Sweet Tea gets real defensive, speaks for Greg, and then moves on. But I also get her being defensive because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, this is all watching your husband get super emotional over his ex. So
Hi, Lexi Lean. Thank you for being here. I really feel like I really feel like it's because of the check. I really do. I feel like it's another form of income for her. And I feel like more so, it's more exposure for Dr. G and his business too, even though we don't see him at his practice. But I feel like even still, it's still a good, flex for them to both be on the show. But we
allegedly,
don't
he's not practicing right now. And that would make sense as to why he would even want to come back to this.
I heard about that too, but I didn't find any other resources about it. That's why I'm not going to speak on it. But more so, we're going to move on to the ladies. There isn't really nothing going on at Quad's house. She has everyone there. And, Toya invites her to the Bridgerton 16th anniversary party that she's having for her in Eugene because she said that she was forced to make a choice based on Sweet Tea's actions, as her and Dr. Mimi explained to the ladies. The only one that really spoke up for Sweet Tea was Contessa. And I feel like Contessa, you got to be careful with that because if you're trying to come back on this show, I get defend her to some extent, but don't go far out like you're doing because it makes it seem like you're being biased. And we already know how we feel about Bose from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills doing this, so we don't want you to fall into that same trap. So I'm just saying. But Dr. G said he lost his job at the sit down with Eugene and Scott, and also their line.
He did. He did.
Yeah, but the thing about that type of business is that in terms, it could have been other things too. It doesn't necessarily mean that he lost it because you still have a license to practice.
Yeah, he
So,
has a license to practice, so he can likely practice in multiple states. He can work
mhm,
as an independent contractor doing like grow therapy, doctor on demand, and he's able to prescribe. So there's a lot that he can do. If
yeah.
he's not working, I feel like it's definitely calculated and a choice. I feel like they need the check here, and he's definitely making more money on the show than he would make, as a psychiatrist. I mean, they're paid well, but this show's been on for a while. He's an OG, so I'm sure the check would be bigger. It's
Mhm.
Bravo.
Um, I I don't know. I don't know. I have to because to me, I've seen brokers bring in money too. Not probably quite that much, but close to it. So I don't know. I would
If you're
say,
selling luxury cars, because I know several in Southern California, because of selling cars, you can make multi-millions
yeah, I was
doing
gonna say
that. But
I
it
don't know any
depends on the
personally, but
type
yeah,
of car and the location that you're at and the type of buyer's license that you have.
the men just popped in, but don't get paid on this show. The men don't get paid. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. Dr. Heavenly said that. Yeah, that they don't get paid. Not to mention, Quasi chills a lifestyle that makes her need this check. Sweet tea and Dr. Gray do not have the same type of. Yeah, yeah. She said he doesn't get paid on the show, and besides all that, he's acting like yeah, but she's putting up her VA loan allegedly to pay off the house and stuff. Yeah, they need the check. So that's why I said I think she'll stay on the show. She'll just argue with everybody.
Mental health is big on reputation, and the mental health community, especially amongst the licensed practitioners, is
Hmm.
not as big as people would think. It's even smaller when it comes down to black practitioners. So I am pretty sure, because someone had commented that this show is not a good look for his business. I believe Lexi Ling, you are absolutely correct. He says
Hmm.
he lost his job, and he even to get hired as an independent contractor for like the virtual methods of providing people with service, like they still do background checks, they're still going to look into your license, look into your reputation, do all of those things. So he has other avenues, but he is acting very unemployed right now because this fool wrote a song. He got time.
Yes. Like the video real quick, guys. Give me two. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds.
He left, y'all. He'll be back. Not just Heavenly. Sweet Tea confirmed the men don't get paid. I'm sure her check isn't much since she's still new. You're probably right. You're probably absolutely right. The New Jersey husbands, they do get paid, but they are the show because the New Jersey women do the same thing season after season. The New Jersey husbands are the show. He has more than one job. Basically, he no longer does the one at the hospital. That makes sense a bit, stay winning. That makes a lot of sense because hospitals be strict and bougie. And bougie. That's crazy. The men on Married to Medicine don't get paid though, because they're actually a big part of the show. That's crazy. JJ, that's sad. We'll see. Half of the New Jersey cast got cut, Shani. Half of that cast is gone. I know Jennifer Aiden was fired.
Oh,
Rachel, she's pregnant and not filming. Half of that cast is gone.
yeah. Which which is sad because Rachel just had that baby. So I'm kind of sad about that. I really am. 'Cause I want to see the baby, even though I
Get
don't
rid get rid of Teresa. Hell.
like
We tired. The people
her.
are tired. Let us rest.
Yes. So we then is there anything we want to talk else we want to talk about at Quad's house? Because Toya did choose her to come to the party.
Good. Toya absolutely should. She brought her the ramen noodle care package. That's a friend. Move on, y'all.
Right. Move on, y'all. But the last thing we're gonna talk about is Phaedra and Dr. Jackie. So Dr. Jackie, she brought Curtis with her, y'all. Curtis was driving the new Range Rover and going over to Phaedra's house. Why? I don't know. But Dr. Jackie said she tired of y'all sitting up here talking about her man ain't never on TV and talking about what he doing out in the DR. This was a flex to say, my man is at home. He gonna drive me over to Phaedra house. Y'all not gonna be talking about my man no more. He gonna go to Phaedra house. Okay? God damn it. So Dr. Jackie go over to Phaedra's house and they talk. And Phaedra said, I don't want to be around y'all anymore because, Heavenly, she's just the devil's daughter. And Dr. Jackie said, well, Phaedra, it was brought to my attention that you knew Apollo was coming. And then they flash back to when Dr. Heavenly said, I'm thinking about inviting Apollo and Shireen. And is that okay with you? And she go, well, not Shireen, just Apollo. And she goes, yeah, we're in a good place. So, let it be a surprise. Here's the thing, Phaedra, I love you and I don't sometimes, but you are full of shit. You full of shit. I think that you got a call to come on Housewives after Kenya, had this situation and you took that chance and you just said, screw these girls. Now, were they being mean girls to you? Absolutely. I'm not going to take that away from her. They were being mean, absolutely. But the thing about Phaedra is Phaedra do come on TV playing in everybody's faces and don't give us nothing but, ooh, child.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't even think that the girls, and y'all know I'm a Phaedra fan. Because she's funny as hell. She gonna lie. She won't care, and she also gonna stay calm. So I do love Phaedra for that. She's entertaining, but at the same time, these women were not that damn mean to her. If Phaedra should be mad at Dr. Heavenly, and she should have a little bit of a side eye with Toya, but no one else on the show really did anything to her. And Dr. Jackie, because of that messy crap she pulled with the little med event. But other than that, the rest of the women she shouldn't really have a beef with. It wasn't all of them. And you chose to move past it, and Jackie's in your house right now, Miss Fei Fei. So I definitely agree with you, James. She got that call for Housewives and was like, "This is my time to go back," and ran back to Housewives. And I don't feel like this season's gonna be very good. And now Candy's allegedly in talks to come back because she's petty and people don't even want her back. So if they bring Candy back, then where's she gonna go?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
we remember.
we
We remember.
remember.
We remember. Trust me, we don't never forget it. And I don't. I don't like her just on general purposes. I don't like her at all because to me she reminds me of one of those like crazy ass Jodi Arias kind of women. So that's why
I
I don't like.
was not expecting that.
She's not one of the most Jodi Arias kind of women. So I don't like her. So yeah, we'll never let her forget it. But I just feel like, yeah, this is the problem that I have with Phaedra. Thank you, Shana. This is the problem that I have with Phaedra.
She's given nothing since
She
being
gave
here.
nothing this entire time she's been on Married to Medicine. And though I feel like she's a better fit over here because of the educational factor of it, because I don't think she's a great fit for Housewives. I don't. I don't think she'll give whatever Cynthia is alluding to about her reading the fuck out of somebody on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't care.
But Phaedra even reads people late, like the notorious read she gave to Kenya while pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
You should have read Kenya for filth while you were filming with her during that season. Phaedra is a confessional gangster, which annoys me because talk your shit to their face. But then she'll also read you at a reunion. But while they're filming, even on Housewives of Atlanta, she's never really given anything. What made her interesting was her lies about Apollo and the fact that this girl was married to a felon and somehow was blended in. Like, but she never really gave too much. I don't know what's gonna happen with RHOA. I feel like Housewives of Atlanta is a mess, but we shall see.
Mm-hmm. I think Phaedra was pretty mean for talking about turning down T's husband, then bringing his ex to her bachelor party. And she can miss me with the weird Shaq Apollo storyline. I'm over Real Housewives of Atlanta already.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm recapping it because I need the content on my channel. So when she comes on there, she's gonna get read just like everybody else. The only person I'm not reading on Real Housewives of Atlanta, I don't give a fuck what she does, is Shamia. So until then we get there, it's going to be on my channel. So we'll just take it with a grain of salt like we always do. I can't take it, Phaedra, Portia, and Candy 10 years later, please. No. Oh yeah. No. I don't think Phaedra will be on. If Candy decides to come back, I don't think Phaedra will be on. I don't think, to me, Phaedra will have to do a damn good ass job for them to choose her over Candy. That's all I'm gonna say. I think Phaedra knew Heavenly was going to be on BS, and that's why she brought a date with her. Yeah. I think what Phaedra didn't bank on was how close. That's why I said I don't feel like Shake really into details of how well he knew Apollo. I think he said he just knew him from the club. I don't think that he mentioned because allegedly Shaq used to date Shireen's sister. That's what the rumor around Atlanta was, is that he used to be with her sister. I don't think Phaedra knew that. So that's why I feel like, it just kind of bit her in the ass and she's just looking for people to blame, i.e. Heavenly. And I don't feel like that's fair. Even though I feel like what Heavenly does is fucked up to some extent by inviting him in the first place, I don't think that that's all the way fair to put it all on Heavenly like that. I just don't. Phony Faye, y'all, yeah. Mm-hmm. Phaedra doesn't belong over here. She was never at any point associated with medicine, and she pays people to write her reads. Yeah, but the problem with Phaedra is Bravo still wanted to employ her in some capacity. Remember, they wanted her to be full-time on Real Housewives of Dubai. I don't know what happened with that. Bravo just didn't know where to put Phaedra. And they remember what is the show called? The Trader Show. They didn't know what that show was going to happen, what was going to be on that show. So they just needed to put her somewhere. So Married to Medicine felt like it was the best solution because at the time, according to Dr. Jackie, she was dating a doctor. So it just made sense to put her over there. So and I understand the logic behind that. I do in the business acumen by putting Phaedra into Married to Medicine
I
because
mean, when we saw
she
the
was
Met
educated.
Gala, Phaedra has slept with the most doctors in the. I mean, I guess that's a link.
I mean, yeah, I mean, she did prove it at one point. So yeah, if not with one man, it was with another. So yeah, come on. All the shadiness women on Bravo are higher meaning too, since everybody else came back. I agree. Production had Phaedra bring her to the bachelorette party. Yeah, they did. They did. Because I feel like Phaedra was the only person that was close to Quad in a way where it could happen in that way. Because it wouldn't make sense for Heavenly to bring her on there or anyone else. So yeah, Phaedra was the only other person. Wish Phaedra had read Dr. Jackie before she went on that jet.
But that's not her style.
That's not her
Confession
style.
gangster.
Yeah. No, it's not her style because Jackie is considered her elder, even though they're only 10 years apart in age. But she's not going to do that. She's going to be poised and southern. Why was it okay for Heavenly to invite a married man on a couple's trip without his wife knowing his ex-wife was going to be there? I don't
That's why
know.
I say Phaedra shouldn't associate all of the women as being mean girls, but definitely when it comes to Jackie and Heavenly, they did her the dirtiest. Jackie was looking for an opportunity to paint her as unprofessional, unreliable with the Med Gala, and Heavenly did this. So it's like and I'm not surprised because Jackie and Heavenly are two peas in a pod. They just express themselves differently, but they share the same train of thought.
Mm-hmm. No, Jackie uses Heavenly to do the dirty work because
Yep.
Heavenly's going to do it. That's
Good
just
cop,
what it
bad
is.
cop.
It's because she's a confessional gangster. She can't read without it. So she can't. And to me, and Phaedra don't like to look, don't like to get her hands dirty and do the work. And that's why I wasn't really mad at Heavenly for inviting Apollo and stirring up mess because they want Phaedra to work for her check. Because I guarantee you, Phaedra's not getting the same check Sweet Tea is getting. I can guarantee that she's not getting that same check. Phaedra is getting, if anything, Phaedra is getting season 2, whatever Heavenly's getting. Because Phaedra, I know they had to pay Phaedra a pretty penny to come on the show. I'm sure.
She's not just an attorney, but she's coming on this show after doing very well on that Trader show. She's been all over the internet. In addition to that, the lady's an attorney and has probably negotiated contracts for others, so she can definitely negotiate her own contract if need be.
Yeah, and yeah, she did agree to that. That's why I'm like, see, this is why I can't fuck with Phaedra. Like, I really can't because you knew he was coming. Now, whether or not you knew Shireen was coming, I mean, it's a couple's trip. You didn't think he was going to bring his wife. Who you thought
Assume his wife is
was going
going
to
to
be there?
come. Or that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Speak up during the time that someone's telling you this is what they're going to do. She should have been asking questions like, okay, make sure the wife ain't going to come because you know that that's who he was fucking on while I was pregnant. Like, do something. But she waits and she says stuff too late. I wish that Phaedra would stop approaching reality TV as if she's preparing for litigation and start just existing, being, and doing.
Yeah, the producers. That's why I feel like Dr. Heavenly needs an executive producer credit on the show. Remove Mariah's name or put it underneath Mariah's name. Executive producers Mariah Huck and Dr. Heavenly Kimes. She needs an executive because she does a lot of producing. She really does. She needs a producer credit. I think Phaedra and Apollo were supposed to take counsel. Quad and Dr. Avon being amicable. Who the hell is Dr. Avon? Being amicable after marriage. I don't know what that. Coach Chanel, elaborate on that a little bit more because I don't know what that. I don't know who Dr. Avon is unless you talk about Dr. Greg, and that's just a typo. You're right. The producers are the yeah, they are absolutely. Fake counsel. I'm still trying to figure out what that means. Fake counsel. I'm still trying to read what that means. Are you talking about Dr. Heavenly? Oh, okay, Doctor. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I remember that. I remember, which to me, and I told you guys, if you guys go back and watch my live where I said that does not make sense because they don't have children together. I could see if they had children together, then yes. If Apollo and Phaedra were the best examples y'all can come up with, then yes, that would be fine. But I feel like Dr. Heavenly was just trying to be messy and it worked. That was kept just by bringing Apollo on to the trip. It was. It was absolutely because I think Dr. Heavenly wanted to see Phaedra squirm because I felt like Dr. Heavenly didn't count on Shek being there. So she thought that Phaedra was going to be alone and she wanted to see how Phaedra was going to navigate being around her ex-husband and also the potentials of his wife. Because there's no way that Heavenly, I would say maybe not the initial invite, but once they got
Heavenly's
to
the
South
one.
Florida, I'm pretty sure Heavenly knew Shireen was there.
Phaedra, I think, in some ways expected Shireen to be there because now that I think about something you stated, Dr. Heavenly does this. She's the one who petitioned for Sweet Tea and Dr. G to be here. So it would make sense. She seemed to have a thing for bringing people around their exes. And she should not do that.
Hi, Bap, and thank you for being here. I feel so bad that Dr. G, that nobody is taking his song seriously. He poured his heart onto us and he gave us his soul.
Well, he should have mixed his own heart. His voice sounded terrible. He should have got that thing mixed and mastered. Hell.
Let me explain something to you, Bap. I love you dearly, but not everybody is meant to do music. Not everybody is meant to, you know, put things out there. Like that's something that should have been kept in the privacy of his own home.
Why is he remarried if he still has all of these emotions? If that's the case, then nigga, you wasn't
I
ready.
knew you
He
was
said,
trolling. I knew you was trolling, but I wanted to give a real answer to that. I did. I did. He should have kept that song. Exactly. Just what I said. That should have never left the house. Never left the
it
house.
should have never been recorded.
Yeah. I mean, it could be recorded.
No,
It could be
no,
recorded.
don't
No,
you
just
don't
leave
do
your
that.
house. Just don't leave your house.
No, because you're gonna encourage people who don't. That's how we. No, he should not have recorded that shit. Okay. No, and to have your wife do it, nasty work. Absolutely not. Don't laugh at me. I'm serious. I wish the hell my husband would have. He's right next to me. I wish he would write a song about his ex and his feelings and then fix him to ask me to record it. Absolutely not.
It just makes me wonder if Sweet Tea really thought about if he was really over Quad or not.
We know
Like,
he's not. As she stated, she left the marriage and is done. She,
Dr. G was afraid the spirit of Ashley Darby with his level of
he
music.
was healing and thriving, Bap. He was healing and thriving. They even danced similarly.
I can't. I cannot. I cannot. Baby, show it to the guys off camera. That's what I thought. Show them to off camera. And
They
then
don't
have
talk
their
to
ears
him
plugged up.
off camera. They don't like him.
Well, I know Eugene don't really mess with him as much, but Scott, I know, is still his friend. I feel like that could have just been an
We
inside.
don't like Scott.
We don't.
So no wonder they
Even
friends.
though if it came down to if we was playing Mary F. Kill, that's who I'm ending up with because he's the only one I really find attractive out of any of them. So I just
Now
think
he's still mad about the sleep number.
I can't with y'all. Yeah, that's crazy. I think Sweet Tea felt sorry for him. To
My
what
husband laughed at that comment.
what capacity was she? What capacity would she feel sorry for him? Then why go all the way? Like just let him be in the friend zone until he got his bullshit together. Dr. Gregory was still in Thrive and trying to move on with his life and got tired of. Y'all is cutting up in these comments. Damn.
You know that man was hurting. He got rid of his Mini Cooper and got him an Audi. You know his ego is wounded.
Contessa looks stronger than Scott. She is. She is. T allows G to control her, in my opinion. Yeah.
She knew what she signed up for. She
Yeah,
watched the
we
show.
see that on TV. We see it. Sweet Tea wanted to do better than Quad. She thought Greg was misunderstood. Now she can't admit that she was wrong. You know what? Honestly, Bat, a lot of people thought like this. A lot of people thought like this because there was every time I would look at a season of Married to Medicine when they were divorcing, Quad never loved that man. Quad, no, she wrong. She should have gave him a baby. Quad this, quad that. And we could see this man clearly being the work that he is when it comes to his current wife. Now, we saw all that when it was with Quad. And she was begging and pleading with him to hear her, connect with her, try with her. And he thought, I'm paying the bills and I'm taking care of you, and that's all I need to do. So what else can somebody do? I just want to ask y'all this. What else is someone to do if they're trying to commune with you in a way where it's like, we're married, hello, I am here, I'm your equal, this is what it is, and he doesn't treat her like that? That's why I said I was never mad at Quad. Not one time. I don't care what people thought about her. I don't care if people thought she was using him. I don't care if people thought she didn't love him. I don't care if people were mad that she didn't give him a baby. Why put yourself in them circumstances with someone who doesn't see you?
Mhm.
So yeah, Dr. Gregory mad that the only way he can't continue to do the sweet he could probably. I think she could take him too. I ain't gonna lie.
I want Sweet Tea so badly though, because in these scenes when Dr. G, does what he does, you could tell, like looking at her face, she takes a moment, her and that lip, that bottom lip, they just look lost. And you could tell that her brain is trying to like process the fact that, oh shit, he's doing what I saw on the show. The same thing he did to the ex, he's doing to me now. Sweet Tea, it's okay if you need to come upside his head with a frying pan. We would forgive you. I just want to say that. That's it. That's it. We would forgive her.
Um, I love this comment. I see a lot of commentators saying that they don't like Quap because she has a boisterous personality. They like that he humbled her in the way they want Dr. Damon to humble Heavenly. Let me
Mm.
explain something to y'all. Dr. Heavenly is humble outside of these cameras. This is Dr. Heavenly's way to release the shit she can't do, like outside of these cameras. You get what I'm if y'all get what I'm saying. Dr. Heavenly does not act like this in her day to day. She only does this in front of the cameras and on her YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't bit more believe she is like this outside of these cameras and her YouTube channel. I think she is the most humble, the most poised. I feel like she is exactly Miss Seeley from The Color Purple in her marriage. And this is her outlet for her to be her real self on these cameras. Not to say that she's not her real self in her marriage, but what I'm saying is that her being this clown and her being this silly and her being this messy, I feel like it's because she does not do this on her day to day. So this is her way of doing it. Is it right? Probably not. But at the end of the day, I don't see in any way, shape, or form her doing this in her day to day. I just don't see it. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I just read a story about a bodybuilder in an abusive relationship. The women are too broken to fight. Oh,
That is
so
true.
sad. Yeah,
That is true. That
yeah,
is true.
yeah. She keep talking about this bottom lip, and I'm telling you, every time I
So
can't
I'm just
unsee it.
saying, Sweet Tea, you say you combat trained. That man be talking to her crazy. At least yell back something. But I mean, we don't know what she's going through
For
in
sure,
that
I
house.
hate
And
hearing
Dr.
things like,
G,
yeah, right. I hate hearing things like that. I hate when people want a man to break a woman down who is too big of a personality for them. Same with people liking how Martin did Kenyon. I hated that. I wish I had my YouTube channel at that time.
that was hard
I
to
wish
watch.
I had my YouTube channel at that time because when I tell y'all, I would have read that man for absolute filth. How
I'm
grits were
telling
real.
y'all, they do. Hot water
Hmm.
too. Just saying.
Hmm. Or some hot grease.
Because Dr. G, what I got from him, like if I was analyzing this situation professionally, it looks like he tries to assert himself with his wives and marry younger women. One, for because he's insecure, but two, I believe the way that he interacts with his wives and women in general, he would never dare do that with a man. When it comes to men, Dr. G is definitely a bitch because, as Shani says, we saw him moonwalk backwards in the sand as fast as he could to get away from that man. So I don't know. Dr. G should not be on TV, in my opinion. He's got a lot that he needs to deal with.
She's not going to do that, Lexi. She's not going to do that. Yeah, I didn't care for Kenya, but I'm never going to go up for an emotional. I'm not either. And here's the thing: I didn't like Kenya that season, but at the same time, I hated that moment for her. I hated that moment for her because to me, it made me feel like, okay, you're acting out now because I believe that was the same season where she brought the cookie lady to Tanya. If I'm not mistaken, that was that same season. And
Hmm.
I thought she was absolute trash for that. So that's why I didn't like her that season. But when I saw what she was really going through, I'm like, okay, so you're angry and the person you want to be angry with, you can't be angry with. So you're going to do this. I got it, Kenya. I got it. But yeah, I hated that for her. I really did. Yeah. I don't think Kim would walk up on Sweet Tea or even. I don't think he would either. I think he has a generalized respect. I think what he was doing was he didn't realize at the facility of what Dr. G was saying in the moment that night that they were having that argument because he was trying to keep a neutral ground because that was his woman and that's her ex-husband. That's really not his business. But when it was brought to his attention later, it was more so like, oh no, you're not going to disrespect her in my presence. I didn't realize that's what you were doing. So um, yeah, but they stopped her. They did. They stopped her. But that was pretty much the episode, y'all. I gotta go because I gotta get to work. But oh my goodness, it was a lot of fun. This was a great live. Make sure if you guys are not subscribed to me, please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Mrs. Best's channel. This was Married to Medicine, season 11, episode 12. We will be back on my channel this Thursday. It will be me, Mrs. Best, and also Shana underscore MCD. We're all going to be here to give our early predictions of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So you guys do not want to miss this. We're going to break down each character and their storyline. And we're going to go forward from there. So I hope you guys come through. Yes. We do need to do this more often. We do. I'm gonna try to do more content for you guys. I'm gonna try to get things together for us to talk about certain things, more unpopular opinions, more update videos. But yeah, we'll have an unpopular opinion this week, and I can't wait there. All right, Shane, thank you for being there. We appreciate you. But I will see you guys on Thursday. We'll be on Mrs. Best channel tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Miami. So make sure you guys are there. I'm pretty sure that episode was a hot ass mess. So we will be there for that tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe to Mrs. Best. Thank you, JJ. We appreciate you being here. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.